You pull yourself back in by doing something. Peter Dunoff called it self-conscious awareness, where you become aware that you have slipped, that you have just you've had a thought of condemnation, you've had a thought of judgment, you've had a thought of criticism towards another of one of God's children. You've had that, you realize that. You've just said something evil about somebody else, or even something judgmental about it. And normally when you would just say those kind of things, you would just let it go. Now you become aware of it. I'll give you an example. A woman saw me right outside about 10 days ago, and I invited her to come up. She's an older woman, younger than me, but an older woman. And I gave her a copy of the movie, The Shift. And she had never heard of it, and I said, I just pass them out. I just watch it and then pass it on to someone else. And I said, do you know who Portia de Rossi is? And she said, no. I said, well, she's married to Ellen DeGeneres. And she said, oh. And I said, and I married them. They asked me to marry them. And she looked at me and she said, and you're all right with that? And she left the room. Okay. Now, there was a time when my reaction to that would have been, who do you think you are? I mean, why shouldn't everybody have the same rights as anybody else? Just, we're all God's children. This is why we were born. And why shouldn't everybody have the same legal rights as anybody else? Why would that? I would have given that talk, or I would have my head would have been filled with that sort of judgmental towards this person. She turned around and she started to walk away, and she said, are you okay with that? Or are you all right with that? And I said, when you live at divine love, I said, I'm okay with everything. And when she walked out, instead of me being angry or upset or even wanting to give her a lecture and tell her to think more like I think, which is what she was doing, I just sent her love. And I thought, that's how you pull yourself back. You become conscious that, if you did have that thought, you stop it. And, or when you don't have that thought, you become aware, I used to always think that way. That it was my time to judge other people because they don't think the way I do. And that's how you do it. You just become, as this becomes part of your awareness, you start self-consciously correcting yourself and stopping yourself. So you'll still have the thought, who the hell do they think they are? How could they do that? That isn't right. And then you stop yourself and you say, no, I'll just send them love. I'll just send them love. And that's when the miracles happen. That's when the healings take place. That's when the abundance shows up. That's when the synchronicities, that's when the right people show up. That's when you're thinking about something, you can't think of what it is, and suddenly somebody calls you on the phone and gives you what you were looking for. Synchronicity begins to become a way of life for you. Yeah.